Hey guys, Killer Shrew Fan here, and today we're going to be taking a look at something that is very exciting to us. The delivery man just came by and dropped it off. Can you guess what it is? Of course you can, I ruined it with the title of the video. It's this girl, the new for 2017 Safari Limited Parasaurolophus. And we are very excited to have this figure because originally I wasn't even going to pick this one up because the stock images just look so bland to me, you know, it didn't look very exciting, but then I saw it on a shelf in a museum, and in person this figure is just incredible. I didn't buy it at the museum because they jacked up the price, as you can well imagine, just to make a profit, so I held off, I waited, and I finally ordered it, and now it's here. So without further ado, let's get this girl out of the packaging. It's always so nice to just tear these things open and free the dinosaur from within. Ah, there we go. Yeah, there. So, here she is, standing in all of her glory, free from her plastic prison, and, like I said, this figure in person is just wow. It is incredible, the painting, the detail. I think the issue was the detail is so fine that the stock images couldn't even pick it up. That's how impressive this is. Like, I can't even put it in words. But without further ado, let's get a closer look at this gal. Before anything, as you can see, they have a tag here, and on the inside, as with any Safari Limited figure, there are facts about the species, but we're not going to bore you with that. You're here to see the toy, not learn about it. So, starting off at the head, as you can see, there is very tiny, minuscule scaling going on all over. Like, it's not just the head, it's the entire body, and it is beautiful. The eye is a little flatly painted on that side. It's better on this side, but again, there's not like a lot of gloss going on in that. It's kind of just you know, but God, I cannot, holding this figure in my hand, I cannot get over the amount of detail that went into it. The inside of the mouth is a flat sort of pink with a tongue, kind of boring, but you know, again, this figure more than compensates it. I mean, look at this. Look at the wrinklage on the neck and the tiny scaling going on all over the body. It's just, I can't do it justice. This figure is incredible. Well-sculpted arms going down all the way to the feet. Very good hadrosaur-like hands there. On the other side, again, more lovely detail and wrinklage, especially right where the skin bags up just above the belly. That is gorgeous. Going down the length of the tail, you see a very well-sculpted hip area here, with some more lovely skin folds going down into a nice, powerful, graceful-looking leg. Going all the way back down the tail, the veining here and the scaling has continued all the way down. And oh, it is just gorgeous. The paint job, the paint job is excellent. I mean, it looked bland in the stock photos, but it really gradiates nicely from like different shades of brown to almost black, and the yellow looks really great with this. It's very natural. This figure feels very natural, and the scaling, you run your finger over this, you can feel it. Oh, it's just incredible. On the underside, you can see that there's all the pertinence and such. 2017 Safari Limited, Miami, Florida, made in China, blah, blah, blah. And here's another nice little detail. They did sculpt in a cloaca. So, you know, that's always nice to see when they're including those sort of anatomical things. And that's pretty much all there is to say about the look of this figure. It is a amazing, amazing looking figure. The paint job, like I said, it just all works so nicely. And I cannot get over all of those little scales. That's just insane. Look at this. Look at this figure. Love this figure like I do. Love it. Love it. Love it! So, just how big is this lovely figure? Well, let's bring in our trusty dusty tape measure and find out. So, from the tip of the tail all the way to the front of the head, you're looking at right around 8 3/4 inches, or excuse me, 7 3/4 inches, just below 8 inches, and from the base all the way to the top of the highest point, which is going to be the crest, you're looking at about right under 3 inches tall. So, pretty decent size. Size comparison time. Let's bring in some figures of the same species. Here we have the Papo Parasaurolophus, and as you can see, she is another very detailed figure, on par, if not exceeding that of the Safari Limited detail. But honestly, I do think seeing these two together that this is the better choice. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is still a beautiful figure, but I think Safari just knocked this out of the park. They really did. Next up, we have the Parasaurolophus Parasaurolophus, and it's kind of funny seeing these two next to each other. They are very similar in shape, as you can see, and they have the same sort of pose going on. They've got this straight back tail on both, the left foot taking a tentative step forward. The only difference is this figure is missing that sort of fleshy flap that some Parasaurolophus are portrayed as having, and I don't know if that is widely accepted in the paleontological sort of society, but they did not include that on the Safari Limited version. I don't know if that's an issue, but I'm just saying it's not there. And I gotta say, this may be one of the most beautiful Parasaurolophus figures on the market. It is just so graceful, so well done, but this figure is equally graceful and even better well done. I gotta say, it's even better because of the detail and the matte. This is just too glossy for me. This matte finish just beats this out of the park. It is just, like, there's no comparing this, really, to any figure. And finally, for Parasaurolophus figures, we have the Olden Carnegie Parasaurolophus, and it is just insane seeing how far we have come in our views of this species of dinosaur. I mean, seeing these side by side and understanding, like, the differences in them is just so cool. I mean, this is just leaps and bounds ahead of that. I mean, it does have the Carnegie Old World charm, but like I said, you're gonna have a hard time topping this figure. You really are. And finally, also new from 2017, we have the feathered Tyrannosaurus Rex, also from Safari Limited. Now, I do decide to get my figures directly from their website, and I will put a link in the description for that, but you can see how these two look standing next to each other, and my gosh, this is the year for Safari. It really is. These are the first two of their lineup that I have gotten, and I gotta say, they have knocked both of them out of the park. I can't emphasize that anymore. I know I've said it like 6 times. That's because it needs to be said 6 times. These figures are insane. And finally, if you don't have any of those figures to compare it to, we do have an average everyday banana, just like in all of our other videos. So if you don't have any of those toys, run down to your kitchen, grab yourself a nice banana, set that on the counter, and now you can kind of see how those would size up next to each other, just to give you a better idea. And there you have it. That concludes our look at the new for 2017 Safari Limited Parasaurolophus. And like I said time and time again, this figure is great. So much so, I think I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10 as a final rating. The first 9 out of 10 on Killer Shrew Fans Killer Toy Reviews goes to this figure. Because I can't praise it anymore. It is just awesome. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Do you own this figure? Do you love it as much as I do? Are you planning on picking it up now? What's your favorite Parasaurolophus model? Do you have the other ones I showed you? Do you think those ones are better? I want to know. Let me know down below. And as always, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't be afraid to give us a like and hit that subscribe button for more Killer Shrew Fans Killer Toy Reviews. We will see you in the next video.